Salutations everyone and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you not just what happened this week, but only what mattered. Guitar Hero is coming back, so we're getting the rock band back together. So our first big story this week is a first screenshot of Deadpool, played by Ryan Reynolds for the Deadpool movie that comes out next February. And, I mean, come on, that's pretty fucking sexy right there. For a comic book fan, I mean, that's pretty sexy. It's definitely the most true to the comic book costume that we've seen so far in a comic book movie. I know this like CGI laden picture, which is, I don't know, we don't know much about what the movie is going to be or how they're going to do certain things, but if you take a look at this costume and if you took a look at the test footage that we saw that was leaked, I mean, who knows if it was really leaked or not, you can't help but really get excited about this idea of a Deadpool movie. Now, granted, it is most definitely going to be PG-13, but all that means is, you know, we can't have a whole lot of blood and no nudity, which isn't really important to a Deadpool movie anyway. But as long as it's written very, very well, it's funny, Ryan Reynolds does his thing. I know people, they have their issues about, you know, past Deadpool, whatever. But Ryan Reynolds, a good guy, could be a funny guy. He can do voices. If you saw the last movie where he was this psychotic guy who talked to animals in his head, but they were all voiced by him. And he can do a good Deadpool. And taking a look at this photo, it looks like, I mean, they nailed the tone. I mean, that's Deadpool in a nutshell right there. And so, I mean, if they can get this to be funny enough, they have a big thing on their hands that they can make this solo Deadpool movie with a lot of action and funny wackiness and violence out the wazoo, as much as you can get away with PG-13 movie, which is a lot, granted. And, you know, if this is successful, they can just keep doing it. I mean, they could do like a Deadpool 2 when Cable shows up and then they have to do some like time traveling hijinks and he could play the straight man. That could be really funny. So I'm definitely excited for this Deadpool movie based off of what we've seen with the test footage and with the screenshot. I know it's not a lot to go off of, but so far there's nothing to be disappointed or any red flags popping up. A lot of people are going to be disappointed that it's not going to be R-rated, which they haven't officially announced, but I mean, come on, it's going to be PG-13. I mean, it's a comic book movie. Kids love Deadpool, and all the money is in a PG-13 movie. You're not going to, you know, sacrifice the money just to have a little bit of extra blood in there. So let me know what you guys think about the Deadpool movie, because, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I mean, maybe we'll get a trailer by the end of the summer. That'd be pretty sweet. The new Rainbow Six game at Rainbow Six Siege, which was Rainbow Six Patriots, being canceled for the third time and then being completely revamped altogether. Rainbow Six Siege is going to be having a beta on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. The alpha was previously only available for PC, but the beta has opened up to current generation platforms outside of the Wii U, but no surprise there. Probably won't even be released because, you know, Ubisoft, whatever. And you can secure a spot in the beta if you pre-order the game. If not, you'll have to sign up and hopefully get in. There is no date announced on when this beta is going to happen, but based off of what we saw last year at E3 with the multiplayer section of at least a game mode in Rainbow Six Siege, which looked like it could be really cool or it could be a one-trick pony, people are going to be excited because Rainbow Six was like the big thing on the old generation, well, on 360 anyway. It was like, you know, Gears of War, Rainbow Six, those were the big things before Halo 3 and like Call of Duty and stuff came out. So, yeah, it might be a pretty big thing. The graphics look amazing. It's nice that they're keeping to current gen, which I think all video games should do from now on, just so we can, you know, break through the limitations of the old generation, because if you try to make it for the 360 and the PS3 and the PS4 and the Xbox One, you have to dumb down the current gen, just because that way they won't be different from the old gen. And I mean, come on, let's break the chains of the old generation and go on forth. And it looks like Rainbow Six Siege might just be that. As you might have heard, Guitar Hero is coming back, and so is Rock Band, which is incredible since they were huge for like 3 years, and then there's they died. They just died. They don't make them anymore. They haven't for a long ass time, and there was no demand for rhythm games anymore. But they're coming back. Guitar Hero is supposedly going to have some sort of big announcement in Germany on April 1st, which, okay, that could be an April Fool's thing, so hold your horses there. But Harmonix said that they're bringing Rock Band back as well, so I think we could safely say that they're probably coming back. I don't know, if the demand for them has changed at all. I mean, obviously they would be coming out on the current generation of consoles. Not that they could do anything that they couldn't do on the old generations of consoles, because you're just looking at some things and you're hitting buttons in accordance of when they're on the screen and it plays music. But, I mean, it was cool when it came out at the time. I liked Guitar Hero 2. And I played a little bit of Guitar Hero 3. Didn't play Rock Band. I didn't like the guitar. Only tried it once. Maybe it was a broken guitar. I don't know. But a lot of people really liked Guitar Hero and Rock Band when they introduced the drums. I mean, did people really sing in that thing? I guess sometimes. But what have you. Looks like they're coming back. What do you guys think? I'm not excited, and I don't really know if the market is still there because it died really fast. So, in other movie news, Steven Spielberg is set to direct Ready Player One's movie adaptation. Ready Player One, for those of you who don't know, is the novel that's pretty much the most well-known, well-received, everybody likes book that has anything to do with a video game. It's like the grail of, books that have to do with video games. Everyone knows it, everyone likes it. If you don't know the story, it's basically Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in a virtual reality video game. It takes place in the year 2044, where this guy sets out to find an Easter egg in this virtual reality game called Oasis, or the world's called Oasis. And if he finds that Easter egg, then he gets the empire. He gets the game. He owns everything. So. And has a lot to do with like 80s references, which they say that they're pretty optimistic to get people on board with copyright and stuff, having it talk about all these different 80s things, because it's really important to the story. So we've seen some movies such as the Lego Movie get a lot of properties together to agree to let their stuff be referenced and used. So they're pretty optimistic about that. And with Steven Spielberg at the helm, I mean, there's not a lot of whole people that can be disappointed about this. Granted, he hasn't made a good movie in the last decade, except for Lincoln. But, I mean, he's still Steven Spielberg. I mean, Lincoln was just a couple of years ago. And, I mean, he's still, one of the greatest of all time. Regardless of how you feel about his movies, he's still regarded as one of the best. And a lot of people are excited. And when you have Steven Spielberg attached to a film, you should feel pretty good about, the movie coming out and the prospects of it, getting the right attention, getting the right budget, and getting the right actors. And hopefully that's what this movie gets, because a lot of people really like Ready Player One. No news yet on April's PlayStation Plus games, but as far as games for gold goes, they have announced these 6 games that will be coming for free in April. They announced last month that there'll be 6 games this year to celebrate their 10 million free game downloads. But they're amazing, easily the best games for Gold Month ever. Starting with Pool Nation FX and the critically acclaimed Child of Light, Gears of War Judgment, and Terraria. And in the second half of the month, 360 owners get Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Army of Two The Devil's Cartel. 6 really good games that I'm super psyched for and totally gonna get. I've been waiting a while to get Gears of War Judgments, and I've been waiting a while to get Black Flag. And having just another Xbox One game, and it's a pool game, I mean, it's got to be at least worth something. And Terraria is good. I mean, that's just 6 really good games. Solid games, easily Xbox Games for Gold best month. Hopefully they keep up the 6 games thing, or at least the quality of those games. I mean, we have a Gears game, an Assassin's Creed game. We have a brand new game like Child of Light. That's very, very well received. So good on you, Microsoft. Yeah. I think it's safe to say you won this month, unless PlayStation Plus comes out with something super crazy. And the news this week that should surprise nobody, Zelda for the Wii U has been pushed back to 2016. I mean, if you're a Zelda fan, you should be used to this. I mean, they did the same thing to Ocarina of Time, they did the same thing to Wind Waker, they did the same thing to Twilight Princess, and it should be no surprise that Zelda for the Wii U has been pushed back to another year. So, it's a bummer. It was like the big game on the Wii U that everyone was looking forward to, including myself, even though I'm not like a huge Nintendo or Zelda fan, even though I have a massive respect for the franchise and the characters. This new game just looked really, really good and something that anyone should get on board with. But sadly, it is not going to be coming out this year. They have dedicated, quality over quantity and speed, which I think we should all respect because we've seen other game companies make that mistake. Nintendo, not one of those companies who rushes games out. But anyways, sad to see it being pushed back, but it should be no surprise. And we just know, Nintendo, we got it. You got this under control. Any Hootie and the Blowfish, that is what mattered this week. If you'd like to know what matters in the future, hit the subscribe button, and please leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys next time.